Nora, can I tell you something I have never said on this podcast before?
Always.
For a long time, I was learning English the wrong way, every single day, without knowing it.
What do you mean the wrong way?
I was studying English, but I was not living in it. And those two things, studying a language and living in it, they are completely different activities with completely different results.
What does living in it look like?
That is exactly what today is about.
Welcome to Easily Speak English. I am Nora.
And I am Sam. And today we are talking about habits. Not the habits you read about in articles, the ones that actually worked for real people, including us.
Because language learning is full of advice, and most of it is technically correct and practically useless.
Technically correct and practically useless. Yes. Do this for 30 minutes a day. Use flashcards. Watch films with subtitles.
All fine. None of it life-changing. And today, we're talking about the habits that actually changed things. Not just improved them, changed them.
We post new episodes every single day on Easily Speak English. Come back tomorrow. Something is always waiting for you.
Let us begin with a confession.
My confession first.
Go ahead.
I spent 2 years studying English. Textbooks, grammar exercises, vocabulary lists, tests, 2 full years.
And
at the end of those 2 years, I could pass a written test. I could identify the correct answer in a multiple choice question. I could explain the difference between present perfect and simple past.
But
I could not have a real conversation. I froze. I lost words. I became someone else in English. A smaller version of myself.
a smaller version of yourself. That is a painful thing to feel.
It is, because the real you, the one with opinions and humor and warmth, that person cannot come through if the language is not in your body yet.
In your body. Not in your head. In your body.
And putting language in your body, that is a completely different kind of practice from putting it in your head.
So what changed it for you?
One habit. One small shift. That made everything else possible.
Tell me. I started thinking in English. Just that. Just that. Not studying English, not reading English, not practicing English. Thinking in it. Using it as the language of my internal monologue. Internal monologue. The ongoing voice inside your head. The one that narrates your day, comments on things, asks questions, has opinions. And when I switched that voice to English, everything changed. Because the language stopped being a foreign thing I was visiting and became the place I actually lived. The place you actually lived. Yes. And it started small. Not full sentences, just a word here, a phrase there. I am walking to the kitchen. The coffee is hot. I am tired today. Simple observations, but in English. Simple observations in English. And over weeks, then months, the language started to feel less like a translation and more like a thought. Less like a translation and more like a thought. That is the shift. That is the thing. Listeners, are you thinking in English yet? Even sometimes? Even one sentence a day? Write in the comments. Tell us what your internal voice sounds like. We read every single comment every single day. My confession now.
Please.
I used to treat English like homework. Something to get through, something to complete, something to be done with.
Homework energy.
Exactly, homework energy. And homework energy produces homework results. You finish it, you close the book, you forget most of it by morning.
And what changed it?
I started listening to English for pleasure.
For pleasure, not for study.
Not for study, not to improve, not to learn vocabulary, just because I wanted to hear it. I found podcasts I genuinely enjoyed, topics I cared about, stories I wanted to follow.
And the difference?
The difference was emotional. When you listen for pleasure, your brain is in a completely different state. Open, relaxed, receptive.
Receptive. Ready to receive. Open to taking things in. Not guarded or tense.
And in that receptive state, language goes in differently. More naturally, more deeply, more permanently.
More permanently. Because emotion is the thing that makes memory stick.
Emotion makes memory stick. Yes. When you learn something through genuine interest, through something you actually care about, your brain marks it as worth keeping.
Worth keeping. As opposed to, this is for the test. I can let it go after Thursday.
Yes. The brain knows the difference. It always knows.
So the habit, listen to English not to study, but to enjoy. Find something you genuinely want to hear, and let the language come in through the back door.
Through the back door. Not the front door of effort and concentration, the back door of genuine interest and pleasure.
And it works faster than almost anything else, because you are not fighting yourself while you do it.
You are not fighting yourself. That might be the most important phrase in this whole episode.
Listeners, what kind of English content do you actually enjoy? Not what you think you should listen to, what you actually enjoy. Write it in the comments. Let us build each other a list.
There is a third thing I want to talk about, and it is the most counterintuitive of all.
Tell me.
Speaking badly on purpose.
Explain.
Most learners wait to speak until they feel ready, until their English is good enough, until they will not make mistakes.
And that day never comes.
That day never comes, because readiness is not a state you arrive at before speaking. It is a state you develop through speaking.
Through the act itself.
Through the act itself. And so the habit is speak before you are ready. Speak when it feels uncomfortable. Speak when you will make mistakes. Speak badly on purpose if you have to. Just speak.
Just speak. It sounds simple. It is not simple.
It is not simple, because our relationship with mistakes is complicated. We treat mistakes as evidence of incompetence, as proof that we are not good enough.
Incompetence. Lack of ability. Not being good at something.
But in language learning, a mistake is not evidence of incompetence. It is evidence of attempt.
Evidence of attempt. That reframe is everything.
You attempted something in a language that is not your first, and something came out. Maybe wrong, maybe strange, but something came out. And the next time, something slightly better comes out.
And the time after that, slightly better again.
That is how it works. Not study, 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 speak, but speak, 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 improve.
Speak, speak, improve. Say that again.
Speak, 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 improve.
Listeners, when did you last speak English? Not listen, not read. Speak, out loud, to someone or even just to yourself. Write in the comments. Today, yesterday, last week, we want to know. There is a habit I want to add that nobody talks about. Please, noticing.
Noticing.
Not studying vocabulary, not memorizing phrases, just noticing them when they appear in real life.
Explain what you mean.
You are watching a film in English. Someone says a phrase that sounds natural, that sounds like something you could use. And instead of reaching for your notebook, instead of pausing the film and writing it down, you just notice it. You let it land.
Let it land, meaning you allow it to settle in you without immediately trying to capture it.
And then later, in a conversation or in your own thoughts, that phrase surfaces. Because you noticed it. Because you let it land rather than immediately cataloging it.
Cataloging. Organizing into a list or system.
And the habit is to notice language the way you would notice a beautiful thing. Not to own it immediately, not to possess it, just to notice it.
To be affected by it.
To be affected by it. And the language you are affected by, that is the language that becomes yours.
Not the language you memorized, the language that moved you. The language that moved you. Yes. Think about the phrases you remember most naturally, the ones that come to you without effort.
They're usually connected to a feeling, a moment, something that happened.
Something that happened. The phrase arrived with context and emotion, and the brain kept it.
Because the brain keeps what it cares about.
Always. Only what it cares about.
Listeners, what is one English phrase you noticed recently? One that landed, that you found yourself thinking about later? Write it in the comments. Just one, and why it landed. Nora, I want to ask you something directly.
Go ahead.
Of all the habits we have talked about, thinking in English, listening for pleasure, speaking before you are ready, noticing, which one changed things the most for you, personally?
If I am completely honest, be completely honest. The thinking one. Thinking in English. Because it changed the relationship.
The relationship with English.
With English. From this is a subject I study to this is a language I exist in. And once that relationship changed, everything else followed.
Everything else followed. Because language is not separate from life. It is inside life.
It is inside life. The way you think shapes what you notice. What you notice shapes what you feel. What you feel shapes how you act. And the language you think in, it is the water everything swims in. The water everything swims in. That is beautiful. And when you change the water, gradually, you change the swimming. You change the swimming. I love that. The habits we talked about today, they are all different ways of changing the water, making English the medium you exist in, not the subject you study.
The medium you exist in, not the subject you study. That is the whole lesson.
The whole lesson in one sentence.
One more habit, and then the word tour.
Go ahead.
Writing.
Writing?
Small writing. Not essays, not formal exercises. Just writing down one thought in English every day. Just one. Just one. In the morning, at night, in the middle of the day. One observation, one feeling, one thing that happened in English.
Because writing slows things down?
Writing slows things down. And when you slow down, you notice the gaps, the places where you do not have the word for what you want to say.
And noticing the gap is the beginning of filling it. Yes. When you write, I feel something today, and you realize you do not know the English word for that specific feeling, you go looking for it. And the word you find by looking, that is yours forever. That is yours forever. Because you needed it. You looked for it. You found it. And now it is connected to a real feeling in a real moment of your real life.
The best vocabulary is always earned vocabulary.
Earned vocabulary. We said that about confidence too. The best things are usually earned.
Usually earned through the looking, through the needing, through the trying.
Listeners, try this tonight. Write one sentence in English about today. Just one. Even today was blank. I felt blank. I noticed blank. Just one sentence. In the comments or in a notebook. Just one.
Word tour. Today we talked about habits, and the words we use to describe them are worth slowing down for.
As always on Easily Speak English, fewer words, deeper understanding.
Internal monologue. Receptive.
Counterintuitive. Reframe. Cataloging. Medium. Earned. Let it land.
First, internal monologue. Say it slowly. Internal monologue.
Internal monologue.
Internal means inside. Monologue means one voice speaking. Your internal monologue is the ongoing voice inside your head.
The one that narrates your day, comments on things,
Asks questions. Makes observations.
My internal monologue is very busy, meaning the voice in my head is always active, always talking.
or I have been trying to make my internal monologue more positive, meaning I want the thoughts I have automatically to be kinder or more encouraging.
And for language learning, I switched my internal monologue to English, which means I started thinking in English instead of my first language.
Next, receptive. Receptive.
Receptive.
Receptive means open and ready to receive. Not guarded, not tense, ready to take things in.
I am more receptive to new ideas when I am relaxed.
Or she was not receptive to feedback, meaning she was not open to hearing it.
And the brain is more receptive to language when you are enjoying what you are listening to, when you are not working hard, when you are just there.
Next, counterintuitive. Counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive means the opposite of what you would naturally expect. What seems right is actually wrong. What seems wrong is actually right.
It is counterintuitive, but speaking badly is how you eventually speak well.
Or it seems counterintuitive to rest when you are behind on work, but rest often makes you more productive.
Counterintuitive advice is often the most valuable, because if it were obvious, everyone would already be doing it.
Next, reframe. Reframe.
Reframe.
To reframe something means to see it in a different way, to change the interpretation, to put it in a new frame or context.
Reframing a mistake as evidence of attempt rather than evidence of failure. That changes everything about how you respond to it.
Or she reframed the setback as a learning opportunity, meaning she changed how she thought about it.
Reframing does not change the facts. It changes the meaning you give the facts. And meaning is everything.
Next, cataloging. Cataloging.
Cataloging.
Cataloging means organizing information into a list or system, recording things in an ordered way.
Instead of cataloging every new word, let some of them just land.
Or she spent hours cataloging her vocabulary notes, meaning organizing and listing them systematically.
Cataloging is useful, but the habit of cataloging everything can get in the way of just experiencing language.
Next, medium. Medium.
Medium. Medium means the substance or environment something exists in. The water fish swim in. The air birds fly through. English is the medium you exist in, meaning it is not just a tool you use, it is the environment you think and feel and experience things through. Or art is his medium, meaning art is the environment through which he expresses himself. When language becomes your medium rather than your subject, you are living in it rather than studying it. Next, earned. 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 Earned means gained through effort and experience, not given, not received by luck. Worked for. Earned confidence. Earned vocabulary. Earned understanding. The vocabulary you earned by needing it, it stays. The vocabulary you memorized from a list, it fades. Because earned things have a story attached to them. They came from somewhere, from a moment, from a need. Last, let it land. Let it land. Let it land. To let something land means to allow it to settle in you without immediately responding or acting. To be affected by it, before you do anything with it. Let that thought land before you respond. Meaning, take a moment, feel it, then speak.
Or when you hear a beautiful phrase in English, let it land. Do not immediately reach for your notebook. Just let it affect you.
The things you let land become part of you. The things you immediately catalog often stay outside you.
Inside versus outside. That is the whole difference. Today's habits.
Think in English. Use it as the language of your internal monologue, even in small ways.
Listen for pleasure, not to study, to enjoy. Find English content you genuinely want to hear.
Speak before you are ready. Evidence of attempt, not evidence of incompetence.
Notice language. Let it land. Be affected by it.
Write one sentence a day. Find the gaps, earn the words.
Make English the medium you exist in, not the subject you study.
Not one of these habits requires a textbook. Not one requires a classroom. All of them require something harder.
What is that?
Choosing English. Every day. In small ways. In ordinary moments. Without waiting for a lesson. Without waiting for the right time.
The right time is always now.
The right time is always right now.
Nora, if someone is listening to this right now, and they feel like they have been doing this wrong, learning English the homework way, the studying way, the waiting until ready way, what would you say to them?
I would say, nothing has been wasted. Every hour you spent studying gave you something, even if you cannot see it yet.
Even if they cannot see it yet.
And today, just today, pick one of these habits. Just one. The smallest one that feels possible. Think one sentence in English on the way somewhere. Listen to something you genuinely enjoy for 10 minutes. Say one thing out loud in English to nobody in particular.
To nobody in particular.
And notice how it feels. Not how good it is. How it feels.
Because the feeling of living in a language, even for one sentence, that is different from the feeling of studying it. And once you feel that difference, once you know that difference, you will not want to go back.
You will not want to go back. Listeners, choose one habit today. Write it in the comments. Tell us which one. I will try blank. We want to know. We will be here tomorrow with something new.
Thank you for spending this time with us on Easily Speak English today.
Please give this video a like if it made English feel less like homework.
Share it with someone who is stuck in the studying without living cycle.
Subscribe for a new episode every single day.
Take care of yourselves.
And take care of your English.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.